Okay, so on to the mental health talk about worry today. The speaker that we invited is the Principal Consultant Psychologist of International Psychology Center, which is Dr. Everett Chan. So before that, there's a name that I'd like to mention, which is Dr. Daniel Amen, who is a Distinguished Fellow of the American Psychiatric Association and as well the #1 New York bestseller author of Healing Anxiety and Depression book. So Dr. Everett Chan is the only psychologist in Malaysia that is accredited by this Dr. Daniel Amen in his protocol of treatment and assessment for psychological disorder and such as depression, anxiety, ADD, and etc. So now I will pass the floor to Dr. Everett Chan. So let's give a round of applause to welcome him to give us this talk. Alright. So yeah. So good evening.
Thank you very much, Jocelyn. Hi, welcome tonight. And I'd like to thank Jocelyn for organizing this talk. Worrier is part of our community health series of talk. And I believe it was Julius Caesar. You heard of Julius Caesar? He was, of course, a warrior, right? He was a great warrior that has conquered nearly half of the world. And he was going to a meeting, right? To meet up with some of his old friends, Brutus, Cassius. And on the way there, a soothsayer, you know what is a soothsayer? It's like a bomo, you know, a soothsayer say, beware the hours of March, the soothsayer was saying. So that means, in Shakespeare language, that means beware March the 15th, so that happened to be March the 15th, right? Beware, so ask him, giving him a warning, to be careful, right? You should not be going to that meeting tonight. Okay, something bad might happen. So did Julius Caesar worry? So what did he say? So if you know Shakespeare, Caesar said, the coward died many deaths, but the brave dies only once. That's what Caesar said. So that means if you are a worrier, you are a coward, that every day you die. Every time you worry, it's like, there's death. What's going to happen? Someone's going to kill me, So you get anxious that you die over and over again. But he doesn't worry. He dies only once. And that's all he did. That's all he did. Once. And then he died, of course, that night. He was murdered by Brutus and Cassius. And he did not hit the work on a soothsayer. But maybe in Caesar's term, it was a worthwhile death, because at least he didn't die every day. He died only on that particular fateful day. That's So if it is fated that you're going to die, then you die. Of course, you take the necessary precaution, but you cannot worry about every little thing. I think that is what Shakespeare means and what Caesar meant. All right. So the objective of tonight's talk is to teach us how to be a warrior, not a worrier. All right. How to live life gloriously and to the full every day, rather than worry so much that you don't get to live at all. Okay, our purpose is to live rather than to worry. So how many of us worry? Yes, right. So you guys maybe you want to join the crowd? Yes, yeah. So we all worry, and why do we do that? Why do we worry? Right? Any idea why do we worry?
Because we scared the outcome is not good.
Right. We try to control the outcome. Yeah. Right? We don't want to die. We don't want bad things that happen to us. Right? So some amount of worry might be good. Right? but too much worrying would then render us not being able to live at all. Yeah, you will be like the millipedes. You know the millipedes that worry about which feet to put first. The millipede has thousands of feet, so he's going to worry which feet to put first, then he will not be able to walk at all. Right? So the objective is not to be foolhardy, you know, to jump or to leap before you see anything, you know, to jump recklessly ahead. So that is not the objective, but the objective is to live courageously, you know, take calculated risks, you know, good enough risks. So that is the objective, okay? But to worry means you, so this is an equation, right? So we have an equation of, we perceive that there is danger, right? Maybe we use red for danger. Yeah? So we perceive that there are danger. Right? Someone's going to kill me. Someone's going to knock me off. Bad things going to happen. There is danger. All right? So on the one hand, there's danger. On the other hand, there is our resources. Right? Our resources is our ability to protect ourselves, you know, our faith in ourselves, our faith in God, you know, our faith in that our friends were not going to murder us, you know. So most likely, you know, we have resources that is good enough, and hopefully this will be the equation. Our resources is more than danger. But if danger is more than resources, then we will then feel that we have to worry a lot. Okay? Now, it is not the danger that is at issue, but actually our what? Perceived danger, right? So the perceived danger is what counts in our mind. In our mind, perceived danger and danger is the same thing. All right? It's like when you are in Matrix. The virtual world is the same as the real world. You know, so that's why you can hypnotize someone to believe, you know, they are in danger or they are safe, you know. I'm a trained hypnotherapist. I can hypnotize people to feel safe or to be in danger, because we can just make the mind to believe anything you want, right? So that's the thing. Our perception influences. So our perception might make us feel that we are in danger when we are not, right? So this is the big issue. How does perception work? Why do someone have a high degree of perceived danger and someone have a lower amount of perceived danger? Okay? And that's not it. Right? Same thing here. We also have what? What type of resources we have? Perceived resources, right. So let me share with you an experiment, all right? So that there was this two group of athletes, right? One group actually are not that good. They are mediocre athletes in terms of skill, right? But for some reason, they have high confidence, right? They think that they are very good. And you have another group that have a lot of skills. We've done a gene test on them. They come out like 4 stars for these athletes. But then for some reason, they don't have high level of confidence in their ability, right? They're a bit worried how they're going to do. So which group do you think will perform better when it comes to the race? Which group do you think? The confident one, even though their abilities were not as good as the other group, right? Yeah, this is actually what was the outcome of the study. So what matters more than actual resources is your perceived resources, okay? If you perceive that you can do it, regardless of you know, your skills, you know, of course you need a certain amount of skills, but you don't need to have a abundant amount, then the perception is what counts, right? So you can either perceive danger or perceive resources. And this is what is making the critical difference here. That would change this equation. And whether you're going to be a warrior or worrier. So if your perceived danger is high and your perceived resources is low, then are you going to be a warrior or worrier? Worrier, exactly. Right? So you're going to feel everything is dangerous, and then you will not be able to have the resources to overcome the danger. You know, the danger is just going to be too much. Whereas if you're going to be like Caesar, you know, he's just an old man, alone, and although he has millions of soldiers, but, you know, he feels that there's no danger. Even though in reality, all his friends are plotting to murder him. But his perception, there's no danger. Who wants to kill me? I'm the emperor. And he feels that he has resources. So, is he a warrior or worrier? He was a warrior, yes. He lived to be a warrior until his last days. You know, until his last days, he was a warrior, not a worrier, right? So then, do you want to be a warrior or a worrier? That's the question. A warrior, yes, like Caesar, a warrior, we want to die with glory, right? We want to live life to the full, you know, and not every day die, right? We want to live life to the full, so to do that, we need to change our perception, all right? We need to decrease our perception of danger here, and we want to increase our perception of resources, okay? Of course, we want to increase our actual resources, but also the perception that we have resources, okay? Actually, we have resources, right? The world is abundant. There's enough resources in there for everyone, right? So have you heard of the blue ocean? The ocean is blue, right? So if you think of danger, then it will be red ocean. Dog eats dog, you know, that's the saying. Although dogs don't really eat dogs, but that's the saying, right? So it's a red ocean, but in reality, you know, we still have abundant resources. Probably not unlimited, but abundant resources, enough resources. You know, no one needs to starve today, actually, but it's due to economics and politics that happen, right? So what we need to do is to increase our perception of resources, increase our perception of it, the actual resources, and decrease our perception of danger. So how do we do that? So how do we increase our resources and our perception of resources? And also decrease our perception of danger. Right. Well, you see, the worrier is about thinking that it's about like the soothsayer. right? He's like a fortune teller. The soothsayer is actually a fortune teller, you know. She would have a crystal ball. Actually, in Shakespeare's, in Julius Caesar's time, that they used the oracle, that they used the bones, you know, of I think a chicken or of an animal, of a bird, okay. So that they would get the bones and then they throw it, and then depending on which way that the bones lie, then they will tell you what happened. So the soothsayer, the fortune teller, would interpret a fortune based on that, and there are various techniques of doing that. So if you are a warrior, it's like you have this bonding, you know, this ability to tell the future, and every time you tell the future, is it going to be good or bad? If you're a warrior, right? It's going to be bad. It's only going to be bad. It's just one direction. Okay, it's going to be bleak. It's going to be bad. You know, bad things will happen, and that will be what the warrior do. You predict bad outcome. You predict bad future. Is that what happened to you when you worry? Right? You predict that you know, things will turn out bad, right? So what do you worry about? Some of you that raise your hand. Give me some example, right? That if you have a like a
I worry about failing.
right, failing in what?
Academics.
Yeah, so you go to exam, you would predict, okay? Basically, you predict you will do badly, you will actually fail, yeah? So this is what it is about. It is a prediction, a bad prediction, a negative prediction, right? And do you think the soothsayer or the oracle will get it right every time? Do you think you will get it right every time? No. Okay? Yeah, in reality, if you look back on your, you know, if you do an audit on your prediction, how many percent did you get it right? More than 50? Probably much less than 50, you know? I don't know whether you even hit 10, right? The percentage of things that will turn out bad will actually be bad. So therefore, we worry, you know, we die this death every day. We worry unnecessarily. We make bad predictions unnecessarily. You know, we spend a lot of negative energy, negative anxiety. So, if we're going to tell ourselves, you know, like you've been to Lion King, you know, you saw Lion King before, you know, Simba, you know, run away and met this wild ox, you know, sorry?
Wild boar animal.
Wild boar, what is his name, the wild boar?
Kumba.
Kumba, and what did Kumba say? What's the word? Makuna Mataka, which means?
No worry.
No worry, right? Just like live your life, eat grub, you know, no need to work, you know, just no worry. Matuka Mataka, is it? Makuna Mataka, yes, right. So no worry, yeah. But do you think it's easy to do that for us? To tell ourselves, stop worrying? No. It's not easy, you know. Our mind, if you tell your mind that there will be no danger, no one will be out there to do harm us, you know, that you're going to pass in flying colors, you see, our brain will not accept it. Right? Our brain will not accept it. It's not that easy just to tell us, you know, just forget it. Matuka Mataka, alright? It's not easy. It's not easy. our mind would not believe it. You know, like Simba, it's not that easy. So how do we do it? You know, we cannot just tell our mind, stop worrying and think everything is going to be fantastic and rosy, right? So there's not a story that our mind and our brain is going to buy. Yeah. So we need a story that our mind can actually believe in, can accept. All right. So rather than tell ourselves that there is no danger out there, okay, no need to worry, just go ahead, be a warrior, our mind will not accept that. All right, that is too unbelievable. Because we have experience, right? We have experience. We you know, all our years of how many years on Earth we have experience, and there are problems, right? We face problems on a constant basis. You know, we have bad experience, and our parents warn us, our teachers warn us. You know, there are going to be problems. There's all these voices in our head that tell us, you will fail, you know, and that's why we worry. Okay, we don't want to be caught off guard. So our worry mind is actually there to protect us, you know, to try somehow to help us not to get caught. Okay, so we worry so much about the exam, so that we'll be motivated to study, you know, so this amount of danger can actually give us an amount of motivation to work and do and prepare. But if it's too much on a constant basis until we cannot sleep, you know, we cannot even perform on the day of the exam, we just have a blank mind, we worry so much, then it's not going to be helpful, right? So it's the amount of worrying that we are talking about. Okay, to worry a little bit is maybe all right. Okay, to be like Simba is probably not a good idea. To just have no worry at all. You know, that is not the objective. The objective is to have worry that is good enough, the right amount, the good amount of worrying. So instead of telling ourselves that there's not going to be any problem out there, or there will be problem out there, what would be more believable would be to tell ourselves that we don't know, right? We don't know whether that there will be people out there to kill us tonight or not, that we will fail the exam or not. Because in truth is, we are not soothsayer. And I believe even the, you know, soothsayer will not get it right every time. Right? So a more accurate story to tell us, a more accurate picture is to tell ourselves that we actually do not know how it's going to turn out. Okay? All we can do is to do some preparation. Not like a perfect preparation. There's no amount of preparation that is going to be like, you know, 100%, you know. It will, you know, even though you don't sleep a whole night for a whole month, you will not prepare enough for the exam. Okay, some question will still come out that you don't know. So there's not the amount of preparation that you can do that will be like totally perfect. Okay, so all we can do is to do a good enough amount of preparation, and that is the complexity of life. All right, there's no simple formula I can give you tonight. What is the good enough preparation? It is for each of you to figure out yourself. You know, something that is good enough for you might be not good enough for you. You know, or might be too simple for you. So each one of us need to figure out what is good enough. Okay, but what is good enough would not make you a warrior, you know, and you can live life with good quality of life. Okay, so that is the criteria. Yes, so you need to do a certain amount of preparation and then go to war, rather than make a perfect preparation, because there will not be enough preparation. Okay, you just need to prepare good enough, and then that's it. You go to war, right? And then tell yourself, I've done my best given the amount of resources that I have. Right? If I have more resources, sure, I can do more. But given the amount of resources that I have, this is good enough. Maybe not the best, but good enough. Okay? And I'm ready for war. And I'm not going to worry about it. Okay? So I can be Latuna, Mantanda, or something, and go to war. Right? Good enough. Does that make sense? Yes? Right? So this is the story that we can tell ourselves. Right? So what is it about the future?
We don't know.
We don't know. So the future is open.
Yeah.
Yeah? Because the future is open, our mind can be open as well. Right? We don't have to be positive or negative. We just need to keep an open mind. Because the future is open. Right? Resources are abundant. Okay? We have faith in ourselves. You know, we have faith in God. We have faith in our ability to learn, in our ability to do things. Right? We have a certain amount of resources. Then the future is there for us to conquer. The world is our oyster. Right? So we can, we just need to prepare enough and we are ready. Yeah? So that is the formula for being a warrior. That's how you turn from a warrior to a warrior. Okay? So anyone has any questions so far on this? Yeah? You think you can practice that tonight? And overturn your specific worry? Yeah? Whatever worry you have, first of all, you need to identify what misfortune are you foretelling? Because that's what it is. The worry is about a specific misfortune you are foretelling. Okay, the bones is not landing on the right side. Someone's going to die, an exam, you're going to fail, right? Something bad's going to happen. Yeah, some misfortune you are foretelling. So you have to be specific about it. So in psychology, we have various anxiety disorders. We have general anxiety disorders, you know, where a person just get worried, and then in general. But actually, there's no general anxiety disorder. It's just that the psychologists and the patient, they haven't identified specifically the specific misfortune that they are foretelling. Okay? So our job as a psychologist, as a therapist, is to help the patient foretell what is the specific misfortune they are foretelling. So once we have identified that, then we can help them to change their perception. Okay? Instead of a negative perception of a misfortune, we shift it to what? Sorry?
Positive.
Positive? No.
We don't know.
Yes. We cannot like shift it to positive and say everything is going to be rosy. You're going to plant with flying colors. You know? You're going to be a millionaire, you'll be president. No. Your mind will not accept that. Your mind will say that is unbelievable. That's not how life is. That's not my experience of life. Oh. So no. Instead of shifting it to positive, we are shifting it to being. Sorry?
I don't know.
I don't know. To openness. Okay. Openness is beautiful. All right. But some people is a bit afraid of that. Right? Things being open, you know, things being uncertain, right? Because we want to like control everything. Yeah? We want to control everything. Can we control everything? No. Only God knows everything, can do everything, can see everything. What is it? Omnipotent, omniscient, and omni something else. To omni, right? Omni good, yes, omni good is something for what it is. So we are now limited power. We cannot know much, right? Yeah. So if we try to control everything, then we only end up being a worrier. Okay, this thing is not right yet. We can't control it. You know, we need to control this. This is not perfect yet. We need to. So it's just like the millipede. You know, try to get every single legs in order. That's impossible. Yeah. So. So it's not possible to control everything, you know, and we need to like accept that it's okay to be open, to be not knowing. Okay, to be not knowing, to be you know, to embrace Zen, right? Not knowing. So that is you know, quite. It's a way of being, actually, not knowing. Okay, it's same thing as a therapist for those of you who are therapists and psychologists. You know, we need to keep an open mind about things. You know, go into a session, like embody a state of not knowing. Rather than that we know everything, you know, we know the outcome of you know, what the patient is about. So we don't know, you know, anything can happen. You know, there's something new to be discovered every day. So then you can really live life with curiosity, with wonderment, right? So one of my great heroes is a philosopher called Ludwig Wittgenstein. Right? Some of you might have heard of him. He's a German philosopher, and on his deathbed, he said, "Life has been wonderful. Not in the sense that it's beautiful, but it's full of wonder for him. So every day is a wonderment." For him, he wonders about things because he's a philosopher. Everything, you know, he wonders about. You know, everything is a curiosity. You know, why? So Wittgenstein would ask, you know, why is it that this is more than rather than less than? You know, it's not obvious. you know, but we interpret it as this and, you know, why is this means this direction, you know. It's just arbitrary sign. So he wonders about all these things, right? So that is the challenge for us, not to be over controlling, right? Because for a start, it is not possible to control everything. Okay? And when we try to do that, we only make ourselves into a worrier instead of a warrior. Right? So we need to accept, in fact, embrace not knowing. Okay? This is the gift we have. You know, I think it will be very boring. Probably, I can imagine, if you know everything. Isn't it? That's like no surprises, you know. Imagine that. That would be so boring, right? You know everything. So this is what makes life wonderful, you know, in this double meaning. For wonderful, for wonderment, and indeed beautiful. That we don't know, you know, much, and we don't know everything. So we can live our life with an open mind. All right? So it is about embracing not knowing rather than over control, and accept that. See what is making us worry and anxious is actually, when you come to think about it, is not about uncertainty. Uncertainty is actually okay. All right? It is the foretelling of the bad things, of the misfortune, that is making us anxious. So that's the difference. All right? It is not the uncertainty that is worrisome. It is the foretelling of a negative outcome. All right? If you think about it, and if you're careful not to foretell negative outcome, you know, but just stay with the uncertainty, stay with the vulnerability. It's okay to be vulnerable. Like a child, you know, not knowing outcome of things, that's okay. Okay? It's in fact only by being vulnerable that you can have intimacy, that you can have a relationship. If you like know everything, you try to control everything, if you try to have a relationship with someone like that, it will be like impossible, isn't it? They try to control everything and you know, try to make everything perfect. They just keep everyone away. So you require an amount of intimacy, of vulnerability to connect with someone, right? To know someone's vulnerability is to then know the person intimately, right? So that's the state we have to get to, right? Not, in fact, it's not knowing, is actually non-knowing. So non-knowing is a state of being and a way of life, rather than over-controlling things. So we need to embody and embrace non-knowing. Be comfortable with that, okay? And to celebrate that non-knowing, you know. But tonight we have nearly 20 people registered, and we prepare for it, and we have it, and we have a bunch of people come only, and that's fine. You know, we didn't know, and we go ahead, right? So there's no worry about that. Yeah. So we cannot control everything, and we don't want to control everything. Yeah, that does make sense to you. Great. Yeah, I think that's is a very desirable state to get to, you know. But and only when you can get to this state, then you can be truly what? Creative. Yes. Because by being creative, you are responding to a situation accurately, or as the situation is, rather than what we perceive the situation to be. Right? So when we encounter a situation, you know, when say, you know, we see a stick there, or we meet a stranger, right? I see you, and only by being a non-knowing, no judgment, you know, I'm open to the interaction with you, can I truly respond to you as you are? Whereas if I start to have perception that, you know, you might be dangerous, or you are this or that, then I am not responding to you as you are. Then I am not, you know, being truly creative. I'm responding based on my perception. You know, my perception, which is probably construed by, you know, by a set of historical circumstances, what we call in psychology unfinished businesses, right? Things that have happened in the past that colored us, so we can never be then truly creative. Our responses are always tied in the past, okay, on perception, because we cannot like truly blank ourselves to be truly present and see you as you are, truly you, rather than my perception of you based on all my historical past. All right, I'm not saying that is easy to do, right? We all have our prejudices, our perceptions, but this would be a noble goal to aspire towards a non-knowing state of no judgment, you know, of openness, of true openness. Then we can be truly creative in each moment of our life.
What if you are surrounded by negative people?
Right.
Always demotivate you.
Yeah. So that is a good question. You know, what if people around us keep on giving us negative messages? You know, and especially when we were young, you know, and probably this is how it happened. When we were young, you know, the adults around us keep on telling us, you know, there will be danger. It's dangerous out there, be careful. You know, watch your back. Don't talk to strangers. You know, don't trust anyone. So that is the message we might get a lot of time. All right. So many of us need to do an audit on all these messages, that we have. And all these messages has become rules, what we call family rules. Yeah. So we need to update ourselves. But if it happens currently, like in a work environment or a social setting, you can do what you can to counter that, of course. But you cannot totally change others, right? You can only change yourselves. And if that happens a lot, you might need to do something to protect yourself. All right. So if in terms of what people you hang out with, you can always choose a different crowd. But if it's your family members, if your spouse, this is a challenge. Yeah. So that's why we do a lot of couple therapy. All right. In our work, and one of the very early goal. Early objective we want to set for the couple is to have zero criticism, zero negativity. So that will be the goal for them in the week. Every time you have a criticism, you mark it, on a special piece of paper, and you hang it on the wall. So the goal is to have zero criticism, zero negativity. Yeah, because every negativity actually has a good intention. The intention is to protect. When you tell you, don't trust anyone, bad things will happen. The intention is to help you prepare. All right? So just turn it around. Instead of telling you, you're going to fail in your exam, just turn it around and tell you, just study hard. Okay, so that is we just need to turn the negativity into the positive intention behind it. Yes, your question.
What if your problem is caused by another third party?
Right.
That third party, let's say if he doesn't do anything, then I'm stuck with the problem and I worry.
So the third party is not doing anything. So but somehow he caused a problem, right? Yeah. Like what sort of problem? Like
It's actually my neighbor.
right.
They have some leaking in the house. Yeah.
Right.
So it caused problem to me.
Because you don't like the sound or
No,
the
it's leaking. Water is seeping into my living room. So
right.
when I approach them, they don't want to acknowledge it's their problem. They don't want to do anything, and I'm suffering.
Right. So you have
Of course I
water.
worry.
Yeah, you have water in your room
Yeah,
as a result of their behavior.
I may have a lot of resources, so I cannot do anything.
Well, of course they are specific matter you can look into to see how you can. It's only a logistic issue in that specific issue, but this reminds me of a issue with Wittgenstein. Wittgenstein was studying in Cambridge at the time, and he's from actually one of the inherited a big fortune from his family, right? But he gave it all up, and he just had a room with like nothing. But the student below him was making a lot of noise. And I don't know what they're doing, but there's a lot of sound going on. So instead of like worrying or go down and complain, they probably ignore him. So what he did was to buy a fan that makes a lot of noise, and that neutralized the noise. So that was how Wittgenstein resolved the issue, by just neutralizing it. So in your case, I don't know, but sounds like that there might be some specific thing that you need to do to confront your neighbor. If you really think that the water is caused by them, there must be a way to like verify that, right? Okay. So yeah, any more questions on this matter? So it is constant work in practice to surround ourselves with people that support us, but it's also our responsibility to develop supportive relationship, okay? Because the relationship is also our responsibility, Like Kennedy say, ask not what your country can do for us, but what you can do for your country. So it's the same thing with relationship. Ask not what your relationship can give you, but what you can offer to your relationship. Then you can make it better and supportive for you. What you can put in. Maybe with your neighbor. You need to do that and be nice to them and things, and then maybe they'll be more open. Who's to say, right? Great. Well, we will be staying around for a while, and if you have any further question, you can ask us. This subject of worrying is a constant one that many of us struggle with. There are all sorts of problems that can be attached to it. People can have insomnia, can be housebound, can even develop depression as a result of worrying too much. So it's something not to be taken lightly, but we can definitely get a handle over it and manage it and overcome it. Yes, Abi, you have.
Is there any specific treatment
Right.
to reduce the fear in someone?
Yes, we have different type of treatments, depending on the fear of what. You're talking about like a phobia of due to a specific thing or just fear in general.
Fear in general.
Yeah.
Fear, like feeling hopeless.
Right. Yeah. So that can be due to we need to formulate it, accurately first. But if it is due to the fear is due to the perceived danger as being too much, and resources is not enough, then we need to help the person to change that perception. Yes. You just arrived. Yeah. Welcome. We're just wrapping up.
Sorry, I couldn't find my thing.
No worries. Yes, but the important thing is you're here.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. So just to recap, the question is how do we help someone we have a lot of fear, right? You have to help them to reduce this perceived danger and increase their resources and the perception of their resources. In general, you need to do that. Okay. So you need to help them to really turn the foretelling of misfortune into not knowing. Not changing it to positive foretelling. See, this is the mistakes a lot of people make. That thing, in order to stop worrying, I must be positive. It's not necessary to do that. It is impossible, in fact, to do that. Okay, to will ourselves to be positive. Okay, what we can do is to be non-knowing. Now that is possible. That is realistic. To tell ourselves that we don't know what is out there. Okay, it's not necessarily bad what is out there. It's just that we don't know. It can be good. It can be bad, and that's okay. It's okay not to be. It's okay not to know. It's a bit vulnerable, but that's okay. So we need to embrace vulnerability. Okay? We need to be like a little child and have faith, in our healthy adult to look after our little child. Okay? We have also a healthy adult in us as well as a little child. To look after ourselves. So it's okay not to know. Yeah. So that is the training you need to have someone to go through. Right? Does that, I don't know, does that answer your question somewhat? Somewhat, yeah. So in terms of therapy, I mean we do therapy here in International Psychology Center. So we use multiple chairs. So we do something called schema therapy, and we would put someone in an empty chair, and another chair representing their over-controlling protector. Okay. And we would ask them to like negotiate with the over-controlling protector to maybe remove it, so that what they are left is their vulnerable child, and then we are there to support the vulnerable child, together with the healthy adult of the person. So it is a therapeutic process. It can be done. It will take a few sessions, but in the end, you will be able to treat and train someone to be okay with their vulnerability, yeah, and then they can have connections and intimacy.
But those treatments is it okay for people who are going through depression or borderline depression?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, it's very effective, especially people with depression, with various type of anxiety disorders. In fact, schema therapy is exceptionally good in treating borderline personality disorders, which are the type of treatment modality is not able to treat as well, like CBT, for example. Okay, so yes, it is for those of you who might not know what all these different disorders. Yeah. So like borderline personality disorders are one of the most difficult type of disorder to treat. And this therapy method for schema therapy, which talks about allowing the patient to feel their vulnerability, right? Is very successful. Because normally the patient will try to protect the vulnerability by over-controlling, by worrying. So worrying is like an over-controlling protector that we need to help the patient remove. Yeah, and then they will be able to open themselves. Okay. Yeah. Any other question? Good. So how's your experience of getting lost?
Looks like you from Sitella.
Ah, Wow, I
Then
would.
was so chill.
Is it?
From internal meeting is really
Right.
I was in the
We-
gym for 2 hours. Listening
Wow.
to our break.
We appreciate your efforts. You know, so well done for putting the effort in there. So, do you have a specific question you want to share with us?
Because I'm too late there. I don't know what was it about. And then I
Right, you know, so there will be other talks planned along the way. So just watch our website, you know, and you have a specific question, so you can still talk to us, you know.
Something not related to worry.
Yes,
It's about siblings relationship.
right.
My 2 sons, 2 years ago, 16 and 17, somehow got, I don't know, somehow they have a misunderstanding.
Right.
They are not talking to each other.
Oh, right.
I came here to ask early this year.
You did.
Yes, I did. They say, the girl said to just come. I don't know how to come. Is it to bring 2 of them together or one by one? Because
Okay, what we would recommend you to do normally is, yes, you can come bringing just one at a time, or even come on your own first. Okay?
oh,
Yeah, because what we need to do is to talk to you first to get the full background information. Okay, and we need to talk to you without them, without their presence. Otherwise, you would not be able to talk freely, you know, with them in the same room. You know, you will feel constrained to talk freely about their situation. So we need to talk to you. Yeah, personally. I mean, if you bring one of them, you know, or both of them, it's still possible, but we will see each of you separately in separate rooms, because we have quite a number of psychologists here, so we can do that. So either way, either alone first, or you can come with them, but we will see you all separately, so we can get the perspective, you know, from each of you, and then we will then put together.
that's a good idea because
Yes.
somehow I don't know how to bring them. You know, they don't want to come. I've asked them, they don't want to come. And I was actually thinking, should I bring my daughter along? Because my daughter seems to be the glue. She's
Yeah.
very friendly.
So I suggest you come with your daughter first, you know.
Daughter.
Yeah, with your daughter, so we get the, you know, the background information first, you know, about this, and I think, you know, you should help them to
I want to
reconnect.
strengthen their relationship.
Exactly.
basically.
Exactly. You should reconnect.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be able to help you do that. Okay. Right. So you know, I thank you all for your attention, and I pass you back to Jocelyn. Right. Over to you,
Yeah.
Jocelyn.
So we thank you, Dr. Everett, for sharing such valuable, informative, and helpful information with us. Okay. So you know, overall for today's summary is that about worry. You know, first of all, we want to stop ourselves from foretelling misfortune. Okay, and then we'll like to just tell ourselves that we actually don't know about what will happen. It's not to be positive, but to be, you know, I just don't know. And this is not something within my control. And then we want to keep an open mind to this very open world and open future. Okay? So yeah, so this is the end of our talk today. And if you would like to ask more questions, there's a few psychologists here that we can attend to you. And then, you know, you can also stop by at the table behind to look at what